Hi, Sugarfoot. My name is Brittany, and I'm a serial lock starter. I have started 12 different lock journeys. I'm 5 months into my 12th, and here's everything you need to know before starting locks. Number one, understand the lock stages. Understand the different stages that you're going to go through as you are on your lock journey. I always got hung up on the starter lock phase, which is why I never made it out, but I will this time. Starter locks are so difficult to get through. The initial stage, it does something to your identity, to how you see yourself. It forces you to understand why you see yourself the way you do. So you have the beginner stage, which is once you start your locks, which is like I want to say the first month or two. Then there is the budding stage, where you start to see little buds forming, little irregularities in your locks, bunching. Sometimes you can pull it out, but when you can't, that means the lock is forming. Then there's the teen phase, where it's still a little frizzy, but it's looking a little more uniform. It's looking a little more solid, a little more rotund, round. And then you have the mature phase, which is what I want to get to finally. That is when it's a lot less frizz, unless it's at your roots, and it's a lot more uniform, and it just looks so pretty. The mature stage is fully locked throughout. The locks are dense, they're resilient, they don't have bounce back. Like, you see how my hair kind of bouncing back? They don't have that. That's what you want to look for when you're looking for a mature lock. Number two, you need to consider your hair type and hair texture. They both play a role in which method you should use when locking your hair and how long or how your hair will lock. So it is recommended for looser textures to do interlocks, instant locks, which uses the crochet needle. It is also recommended for loose hair textures to avoid washing, which I don't recommend. I say embrace how your hair unravels when it's washed and just work with it. Figure out a way to work with it, because you want your hair to be clean in order to have healthy locks. Tighter curls and textures, I honestly think you can do anything. You can do coils, you can do twists, you can do braids. It's all gonna lock. And definitely wash your hair. Choosing your lock size and method. One thing I struggled with was figuring out what size I wanted my locks to be, because I knew I wanted them to be fluffy and chunky, but I didn't want them to be too small where maintaining them was annoying. So that is something to consider. You also want to consider how your locks are gonna look down the line. Because different hair types look very different when they are locked, you cannot look to someone to see how your locks are gonna look when they're mature. I would say test it. Do tester locks. Try out different methods and see what works best for your hair type, your hair texture, and your maintenance, the way you maintenance your hair. Patience is key when dealing with your locks. Your hair is gonna take a while for you to get used to. It's gonna take a while for it to mature. It's gonna take a while for the look that you're going for. A lock journey is not a quick journey. It'll test you. So please be patient with your locks. Be prepared for changes in your appearance. You are not gonna look the way you did with loose natural hair. You're definitely not gonna look the way you did with straight natural hair or straight hair, period. It's not gonna look the same as a 30-inch bust down. You kind of just have to embrace the look, embrace what it's giving you, figure out ways to work with it. How can you make it look better for you to be comfortable without damaging or jeopardizing your progress? Expect shrinkage. I had someone argue me about this. I had someone argue with me about this. I said that the first year of your lock journey is going to be a lot of shrinkage, and they were like, no, that's not true. Your hair is just, there is going to be a lot of shrinkage. So number one, when you're in loose natural, you can stretch your hair out. You can do different styles that'll show the volume and length of your hair. When you're locked, there's no stretching. The idea of locking is so that your hair curls into itself, it coils into itself, and it locks in on itself. And it cannot do that if it's constantly stretched. So yes, the first year of your lock journey is going to be a lot of shrinkage. you're gonna wonder where your growth went. And I promise your growth is in there. It's just adding to the volume right now. Until your locks are fully mature, it won't really add to the length as much. Be patient. The shrinkage is there, but the growth is also there. Understand that locks need maintenance and understand what that maintenance is. Lock maintenance varies based on your hair type, texture, and the methods that you use, but you should be maintaining your hair at least every 4 to 6 weeks. And when I say maintaining, I mean washing, conditioning, and separating. It doesn't have to be retwisting. It does not have to be interlocking. It does not have to be neatness, but it needs to be maintained so that way it doesn't become one chunk. It doesn't cause any buildup on your scalp, and you don't want to irritate your scalp because you want your scalp to be as healthy as possible so that your hair is healthy, so that your locks grow out healthy. I personally would recommend washing your hair every 2 weeks, maybe once a month if you can stretch it that far, but I wouldn't go past that. And I would recommend using a clarifying shampoo. When I say the health of my hair changed so much once I added a clarifying shampoo, I know you want to keep the oils on your hair because it locks in moisture, but it also repels moisture. Unless the moisture is already in your hair, it's repelling everything on the outside. So you need to at least once a month strip that oil away so you can add moisture back in. You must choose the right products during this journey, let me say. You want to avoid heavy creams, waxes, butters. The best products will be water-soluble products, so that way when you wash your hair, you can easily break it down and take it out. Waxes, creams, butters, all of that builds up in your locks, and it'll contribute to the weight of your locks. And as your hair grows, that weight gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Now you're doing lock detoxes every 3 to 4 months, and you don't need that when you can just avoid those products. Scalp health is essential. You want to make sure that your scalp is clean, it's free of debris, and it can actually breathe. All of those heavy waxes, butters, and stuff, it prevents your scalp from breathing. You don't want itching, flaking. Just take care of your scalp. An exfoliator, if you have an exfoliator or one of like exfoliating scalp massagers, that's a plus. If you are washing your hair, you need to be drying your hair as well. Air drying is okay and dandy once in a blue moon, but do not do it often because that water just sits in your lock. It sits in the middle of the lock. And all that does is allow mold a place to grow, and you don't want that. Dry your hair after you wash it, please. Sleep with protection. It sounds funny, but sleep with protection, please. A head wrap, a bonnet, silk scarf, or silk pillowcases will do the trick. Prevents breakage, friction, things that you don't want. You don't want lint build up in your locks. Sleep with protection. Last, I'm gonna just end it with this. Commit to the journey. That was my issue. I had commitment issues. I didn't want to commit to a journey. Commit to the journey. It'll be so much better for you if you do. I'm 5 months in. This is the furthest I've gotten. When I say I'm a serial lock starter, I mean it. You guys can just scroll up on my YouTube channel and you'll see how many lock journeys I started. Be patient with yourself, be patient with your hair, and commit to the journey. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below. I love talking to you guys. I like having conversations with you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video.